everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode on this very wonderful entrapment day that the Democrats all want us to acknowledge. The third anniversary of the insurrection, more like the perfection, it seems as like, because Donald Trump, uh, every time they keep talking about this, it seems Donald Trump continues to grow and grow in popularity. We have now just seen a day ago that CNN has just announced that their very first, I don't know if it's their very first, but their first Trump win in uh a contested poll. As you see here, it shows, yes, in their old prediction that Michigan, Nevada, Georgia would go to Donald Trump, along with the leaning states, North Carolina and Florida, which we know that would go to Donald Trump regardless. But there's also Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Arizona that are too close to call. Fun fact, we know that Donald Trump has won numerous polls in these states, and according to our poll, this is what it's looking like right now. Nothing has changed in months. Ever since November, it's looked like this. Donald Trump is in a great position right now, and Democrats, they rage and talk about January 6th, and that's trying to regain and bring back flashbacks on that day, trying to rebuild the anger. And it's not going to work because it's quite obvious that Democrats are dividing us and dividing our country by showing us January 6th. If you want to remember the day, that's fine. But it's never going to be like 9/11. 9/11 was a day of unity, a day of mourning together. And we didn't blame anyone. We only blamed the enemy, and that was the foreign enemy who launched these attacks, Al Qaeda. And that's the only person we blamed. Now, January 6th, once again, is a holiday where we blame each other. We blame each other and we build back that anger. And we continue to hold these anger on this day, and that's not healthy. That's not realistic. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Trump Republican. I'm a MAGA supremacist. I'm not. I'm just being sarcastic, but I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not saying that. It's quite obvious. It's not healthy, and it ruins relations between families. So let's talk about more of this. Obviously, the crying January 6th on the day that the insurrection happened isn't working. It really isn't, because Donald Trump is still thriving, even though he's the one to blame for the insurrection, according to polls. But it seems like he's still doing well in polls. Even CNN has a poll. But why would CNN publicly go and say that, hey, Donald Trump, it says inaugural road to 270 shows Trump in a position to win the White House? It's strange because you wouldn't expect something like this to be released by CNN. Now, what you see, this is not necessarily good. They're like, even CNN's admitting it. Well, I want you to be careful about that. This is the exact same thing they did in 2022. And they said this would be a historic red wave in 2022. And, that's not CNN and the mainstream media admitting to a red wave. That's them whistleblowing either to Republicans just to stay home, which works, by the way, or they whistleblow to their supporters, which is mostly what it is. They whistleblow to their supporters or their followers and people that read CNN and followers of the content, and that makes them want to go out and vote. That makes them eager to go out and vote. That makes them fill it with panic. And guess what you get? We get a fake red wave. So this is not necessarily good. I get in a way what it's about. Yes, it's good, obviously. Donald Trump's at a great position. CNN's saying that. Yep, Donald Trump's in a good position. But we should also be careful that we know what CNN's doing. The MSNBC did the same thing, where they said, Donald Trump is at a good position. Get out and vote. That's what they're trying to do. They're not necessarily, I don't think they're necessarily going to say, go out and vote. But yeah, they're going to say, look at these if you ever read this article, there's going to be a lot of hints, to tell progressives, get out and vote. It's worth it. We got to do what you can to stop Donald Trump from obtaining the presidency. And they're also saying that just don't rely on the on the Supreme Court cases and the indictments. We know that's not going to work. Donald Trump's going to get nominated regardless if he's on state ballots. And I can guarantee you the Supreme Court will overturn this. We have a Supreme Court majority. Three of them have been nominated by Trump. I guarantee you that maybe John Roberts would be, I don't know, but he's not anti-Trump in any way. So I'd imagine the Supreme Court would obtain and say, hey, guess what? Donald Trump needs to be back on the ballots. And it's true, because Donald Trump has a right to run. It would be one thing if they came up with this back in 2021 and said, you know what? After we studied the insurrection abroad, we figured that Donald Trump cannot be able to hold the presidency. All right. Okay. But guess what? They didn't do that in 2021 or 2022. Well, they tried their best, but they didn't do it. So, in 2022 in November, Donald Trump announced his candidacy for the presidency, signing files and paperwork for the election. So there you go. Donald Trump's in the race. There's nothing you can do about it. And what losers do, and what sore losers do, and childish people do, is they do what they can to spoil and cheat their way to ruin a candidate's chance of winning, either by indicting them or removing them from primary ballots. And we know that's unconstitutional. We know that Donald Trump, if he really did these stuff really badly, these really bad stuff, he should have been indicted a long time ago, not a few months after he announced his candidacy. Come on, stop being so obvious. We know what you're trying to do, and we don't like it. And the Supreme Court is going to side with us. Watch us. Watch. Just watch. We are having a good year this year. I will tell you, we are having a good year in regards to, let's just say, they did remove, we ended up the year sourly with Maine booting out Donald Trump from the ballot. But to be honest with you, I think Donald Trump's going to make his way back on that ballot too. I'm not so worried. And if he doesn't, okay, he's off of one ballot. Guess what? Joe Biden's not on the New Hampshire ballot. That's not going to affect anything. So don't worry. We know what they're trying to do. And guess what? It's not going to work. We're going to stay united. We know your plan. We know what you're trying to do. We see it. It's pretty obvious. And those rhino Republicans, so dumb they are for not seeing it and going along with it. They are basically elephant and donkey. Well, basically, I would say donkeys and elephant skin, vice versa. I would say. But yeah. But what do you guys think in regards to CNN sudden, Trump's gonna win, Trump, Trump, and yeah, I think he will, honestly. I think he's in honestly a good position, because Democrats, they don't realize it, CNN doesn't even realize it, they're in hot water. They're in hot water with the right, and they're in hot water with the left. They are in a bad situation, and they don't care. I think they care. If they knew about it, they care, but they don't realize that the huge Free Palestine movement that comes from their party, they're leaving. They're out. They are not going to support Biden. They're calling him a genocide Joe. They are not going to support him. And Cornel West is going to grow. We need Cornel West to grow. We need Cornel West to obtain the whole Free Palestine movement, so that whole movement, the radical left, will abandon Joe Biden, and Joe Biden will only get hardline Democrats that will justify anything bad the Democrats do. So what do you guys think in regards to CNN's sudden Trump's going to win attitude? Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next political episode.